Most people think they need more followers to make more money. I'm going to show you why that's actually the thing keeping you broke and the 3-message sequence I use to bypass the algorithm entirely. So in this video, my goal is to share the 6-step system behind it and what you should do to get most out of it. Which brings us to principle 1, the conversation first mindset. Revenue doesn't come from reach, it comes from real-time dialogue with buyers. Views, likes and saves are potential energy wasters until they turn into back and forth conversation with people who have a painful problem and the ability to pay. Nothing moves. Imagine 2 coaches. Coach A posts daily, obsessively checks analytics and celebrates going viral, but almost never talks to prospect. Coach B posts twice a week and every piece is engineered to pull 5 to 10 people into the DMs. End of the month, Coach A has screenshots, Coach B has Stripe notifications. So if you want to do this yourself, stop asking how many people saw this and start asking how many qualified conversations did this generate. That's your real KPI. Now that you get why conversations are the goal, you need a simple map that takes people from content to call in a straight line. That's what principle 2 is about. Which brings us to principle 2, which is called the fast funnel map. Traditional funnels are bloated. It goes from post, freebie, nurture, webinar, replay to sales page to call and then hope. Each extra step is a leak. The fast funnel is a direct path. One post that triggers a hand raise, one DM that deepens the problem, one invite to call for the right people. Most funnels are like a first date where you show up, immediately ask them to marry you. The fast funnel is actually having a real conversation first and letting the ask happen naturally. So if you want to do this yourself, map one clean line, the platform you'll use, the type of post, the trigger word for hand raise, the DM script, the calendar link for qualified people. Nothing extra. If you don't want to build that from scratch, I put my exact fast funnel map, which has plug and play post templates and DM scripts, into a short guide. It's free, hit the link in the description or DM me fast on Instagram and I'll send it over. Now that you have the big picture map, let's build the one piece of content that does most of the heavy lifting for you. And that brings us to principle 3, the fast funnel content. Your content has one job: make the right person feel so seen in their specific problem that they have no choice but to raise their hand. Here's an example you can straight up steal. Most coaches can get clients from referrals, but completely freeze when it comes to getting clients from cold audience. If you're an established coach and you want my 5-step fast funnel that can create 3 to 5 qualified call opportunities in the next 48 hours, comment fast below and I'll send you the breakdown. That post does 4 things. It calls out exactly who it's for, it names the exact problem they're embarrassed about, it promises something concrete and fast, and it gives them one simple way to raise their hand. So if you want to do this yourself, write one post that calls out your person, name their most painful bottleneck, promise a short-term win, and use one trigger word to flag who's interested. Now here's where most people stop. They post it once, get 3 comments and say, the system doesn't work. That's not a system problem. That's a volume problem. So here's what I actually want you to do. Before you post anything, I want you to have 7 pieces of fast funnel content ready. Reels, carousel, B-roll, whatever you're comfortable with. Doesn't matter. Just 7 pieces, all built around the same principle we talked about. On Monday, you post content A and put $5 a day behind it. Tuesday, you post content B and put $5 a day behind that too. Now you have $10 total. Don't touch content A. Just let it run. Wednesday, you add content C. Add another $5. Keep going until day 7. By that point, you're spending $35 a day across 7 pieces of content. I know that sounds very scary, but here's what's actually happening. You're not spending money, you're just buying data. And by day 7, if you follow the content framework I just gave you, you will have conversations starting. I promise you that. Now on day 8, I want you to go back and look at content A. Check 3 numbers only: cost per comment, cost per conversation, and cost per book calls. Ignore everything else. Ignore reach, impression, likes, none of that matters right now. If your cost per comment is sitting between $1 and $3, that content is working. If 10% of those comments are turning into actual conversation, that's strong. At that point, you scale the budget on the piece and you let the losers die. This is how you stop guessing and start knowing what your audience actually respond to. You're not actually going viral, you're just engineering conversation. And that's the whole point of this. Now that your content is pulling in the right people in, the next thing that will make or break this whole system is what happens in the DM. Which brings us to principle 4, the DM framework. This is where most coaches kill momentum. Someone comments and they either get ignored or they just get a copy-paste pitch and a Calendly link. That skips a relationship building part. The DM's job is to clarify their situation, give a quick win, and then offer a logical next step. Use this 3-message sequence. The first message, clarify. Hey name, saw you commented fast on my post. Quick question, can I send you the most useful information? And then you ask, what's your biggest struggle with getting clients from cold audience right now? Message 2, a micro win. Got it. If I were in your shoes for the next 48 hours, I'd focus on whatever you're focusing on. Ask these 2 questions in DM to filter time waster. What are you currently selling? How are you getting clients right now? And message 3 is invite. If you want, we can jump on a quick 20-minute call and map this around your offer and your audience so you're not guessing anymore. Want me to send you the link? So, if you want to do this yourself, treat DMs like a diagnosis room. Ask one clarifying question, deliver one small win, then offer one low-pressure invite instead of leading with a pitch. Once you're having better DM conversation, the next step is protecting your calendar. That's where qualification and filters come in. Which brings us to principle 5, qualification and filters. More calls don't automatically mean more revenue. If your calendar is full of pick your brain chats, you'll burn out and your close rate tanks. You need simple filters baked into your question so only the right people make it to your call. Use a 3-filter check inside the DM. Filter 1, clear offer. Ask what are you currently selling. If they can't answer in 1 or 2 sentences, they're not ready. Filter 2, proof of revenue. Definitely ask them, how are you getting clients right now? If they've never sold anything before, most of the work will be validation and not scaling. And filter 3, speed of action. Watch how quickly and clearly they respond. If they take 3 days to answer a basic question, they'll move just as slowly in your program. Only the ones who pass these 3 filters get invited to a call. And look, some of you are going to read these filters and feel uncomfortable disqualifying people. You're going to want to give everyone a chance. And let me be honest with you, that's going to kill your business. A bad fit client costs you way more than no client. Remember that. So if you want to do this yourself, define your non-negotiables for a good fit client and turn them into 2 to 3 filtering questions you always ask in DMs before you send your calendar invite. Once you've got qualified people booking calls, the final piece is turning this from a 1 or 48-hour spike into a predictable scaling system. That's where principle 6 covers. Scaling the fast funnel. Once you've run this a few times, it stops being a nice little push and becomes a numbers game. When you know how many conversations turn into calls and how many calls turn into clients, you can plan revenue instead of hoping for it. Here's how the math can look in a month. You run fast funnel content and start 100 DM conversations. Out of them, 20% are qualified, and from them, 20 serious prospects come. Half of those will book a call, which is 10 calls, and 30% of call convert, which is 3 clients. At 3K per client, that's 9K from cold audience of a simple repeatable system. Improve any step, better content, sharper filters, stronger calls, and the whole thing scales without needing a massive audience or ads. So if you want to do this yourself, track 5 numbers every month. Hand raises, DM started, qualified prospects, calls booked, and finally clients closed. Fix the weakest step in that chain and your revenue compounds without rebuilding your entire strategy. I've literally handed you the whole thing. The post, the DM sequence, the filters, it's all in a free guide in the description. The only thing left is you actually going and doing it. And if you're serious about building a simple, repeatable content to client system from Instagram and YouTube, hit subscribe. This whole channel is built around that outcome. I'll see you in the next one.